above. Then we also went over, if we don't listen to God, that we would be cursed. And all of these things that have happened to us since, the slavery, us being put in bondage, the yokes on our neck, our children being sold unto other people and us having no power to do anything. All that happened as a result of us not listening to God, right? So go ahead and you got Deuteronomy? That's it. So I'm going to show you, this is what Moses had prophesied back to us before all of this even happened. And the same thing that he said is what we're going to bring out today, okay? Because you knew that buying on the Sabbath was a sin, right? Go ahead and read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good and death and evil.
So today, what's your name? I can't hear you. Gino? Okay, so Gino, today, the Most High has set before you life and good. And then he's also said death, and what does it say? Death and evil? Death and evil. So you have choices to make today on what you're going to do. Are you going to serve God, or are you going to serve your own desires in your own mind? Because you knew that you weren't supposed to go get that drink, right? So you made a conscious choice. You knew that you were doing something contrary to what God said. Get verse, is it 18?
See it right here?
Hey, how's it going today, brother?
Good, yeah.
Doing good, doing good. We're out here teaching our people who they are according to the Bible. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we are God's chosen people.
That's right.
We have not been taught this for thousands of years. The Bible has been used as a religion. They teach Christianity, you have Mormonism, Jehovah's Witness, all these different religions off of the same book. But the Bible is a history book. It is our history book. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. We're talking to Gino right now. We're telling him how to keep the Sabbath day holy. Today is the Sabbath day. This is a set apart day to God. But I'm gonna talk to you a little bit more here in just a second. Go ahead and read. So like we were talking about, you have life and good and then death and evil, right? Go ahead and read.
Verse 18, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it.
19.
Verse 19, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you.
So we call heaven and earth to record this day against you because you are now knowing that you were doing wrong, right? So today the angels are here with us. It's the same with us, heaven and earth, recording this day against you that you now know what you are required to do.
Right.
That I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing.
So you've been given two options. You have life and you have death. Blessing that we talked about, and then cursing. So now this is a choice that you have to make. Keep reading.
Therefore, choose life that both thou and thy seed may live.
So now that you know what life is, and now that you know that you can choose life, he said choose life. Why choose death? If you have the option to choose life, why choose death? Give me Matthew 5 and 17. So and what you said there's different types of sin, right? So I want to show you in the Bible, because what you said is heavy, right? There's different types of sin, right? Every sin has a judgment for it, whether it's small or large. But I want to show you something real quick. This is what Christ said. Go ahead and read.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
So Christ said, think not that I've come to destroy the law. He didn't come to take away the law or what was taught by the prophets in old time. He came to fulfill the law of sacrifice. Keep reading.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle.
So he said, verily, seriously, I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. That means this world passes away. Keep reading. Do you know what one jot and one tittle means? You know what a jot and a tittle? That's a period and a comma. So like a punctuation. So as you're reading, the Bible it's written in a very distinct manner. It's written for you to be able to understand it line upon line, word upon word. It says, till heaven and earth pass, one jot and one tittle, keep reading,
shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
So nothing's going to pass from the law, whether it's a small sin like you were saying, or a big sin. Keep reading.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments,
Those little sins, you belittled it. You said it was just a little sin. It's a small sin, right? Whosoever shall break the least of these commandments, whether that's just buying a soda pop. You might not be out here killing somebody. You might not be out here sleeping with other men's wives. But if you are out here breaking the least of these commandments, keep reading.
and shall teach men so.
Because you know you're Israel. So you are an example to your nation, whether you realize it or not. So if you are not keeping the commandments, and you have other brothers, you have brothers and sisters, you may have parents, you have family members, and they watch your example, you are teaching men to not keep the commandments as well. Because you're showing them that it's okay. Men are the leaders, right? Go ahead and read.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
You shall be called least, means you're not getting the kingdom of heaven. We want the kingdom, right? We want to choose life. We want blessings. We want to be above all people. So it's saying don't break the least of the commandments, because all of them are going to receive a just judgment. Is that it?
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Now, you want to be called great in the kingdom of heaven? You want to be great, right? We all want to make sure that we receive the kingdom of heaven. But if you were teaching men to do so, to teach these commandments, then you are going to be called great in the kingdom. That's something we all want. Get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. That's at that point, once you're doing the commandments and you're teaching men to do so, there's a reward for that.
Nice. So our point is like, you know, I was listening.
Go ahead.
Like religion or oppression and stuff. Like, most of my friends like cook Saturday, like they're like, I wish it was some blessing the same thing. They still like cook our homes and that's one thing. But like you know, Christian and stuff, like you still like.
So, come over here real quick, because I can barely hear
I feel
you.
like a Christian don't let the title.
You were raised Christian, right? But and that's why. Go ahead and Deuteronomy 28 and 48. A lot of us were taught Christianity, right? But is that the right way?
Nah, I just found out. Yeah, I found out.
And that's once we find out the right way, then we start to learn and we start to change, right? That's called repentance. A lot of us around you, we were not taught the right way. And we're still learning the right way to keep these laws, to actually walk in what God is telling us to do.
That's right.
Once you know the right way, then you have to choose to do the right way. Then now you have the choice of life and death. So I'm going to go ahead and show you something real quick, because you said that Christianity taught these things to you, right?
No. Saturday, I know like yesterday, but we still do and now like went to the store.
I got you, but that's Christianity. That's a religion. We're teaching you your nationality. There's a difference between a religion that your enemy teaches you and you have your own people teaching you the right way to keep God's laws. There's a difference. So I'm going to show you that that's not just something that happened to you. There's a reason why that happened, and I'm going to show you right now. Go ahead and read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Start at 47.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
So because we didn't serve God with the joyfulness and with the gladness of heart, we didn't do it joyfully because God called us to serve Him, right? Keep reading.
For the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So there was two options, that life and death. Because we didn't serve God, God allowed us to serve our enemies. You see on this sign, we are put in captivity, slavery. All these things have happened over time on all these signs. It's because we didn't serve God, God gave us the ultimate solution. It's either serve God or serve your enemies. You have two choices, life or death. Keep reading.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things.
So the key part that I wanted right there is in the want of all things. So back in the day, it said the abundance of all things is what we receive when we serve God. God gives us the resources of the land. We have water, we have food, we have all these things that are given to us. But it says that we would serve our enemy for these things. Now you go to the store, you need to get water, you buy a Pavina, you get design. You want to go to food, you got to go to McDonald's, you go to Walmart, you go to Fry's. Now it's saying the want of all things. When you wanted to understand the Bible, you were taught the Bible from your enemy. The same ones that put us into slavery, the same ones that did all of this to us, That's who taught us the Bible.
Right.
That's who allowed us to understand, okay, it's okay to just cook on the Sabbath. It's okay to just do these things as long as you're trying to rest. That's not the case.
Bring it up.
So now that we are being taught the right way, we have that choice. We can choose life. You can choose life today.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.